So time transfer, basically after your time and time that is keyed in by the employee and approved by the approver, the next step is it will first of all check whether it is I mean having no validation errors, calculation rules have applied, approval has happened. That's where the time consumers will now need that particular time. So how will they get that time? There are predefined processes that you can submit. So for projects, there is a process. For payroll, there is a process. You can load the time card batches into payroll. And for projects, there is another time transfer time process. So there are dedicated processes which you can kind of submit. And the troubleshoot area in the time management will enable you to identify how many time cards have failed, how many time cards have been processed, how many time cards I mean what were the errors with respect to the failed time card entries. So that is basically your troubleshoot area. We will see, I mean we will not see into the depth of it. In case we find out any errors, we can go into the depth of it. So basically time transfer error resolution, what it does basically, first of all time transfer process once it runs, then the time consumer, be it projects or be it payroll, the administrator for that particular piece will identify the number of failed time card entries, and then these time card entries will have to be either I mean you can update that as a part of the process, I mean as a part of that manage time card section, or you can delete them and then you can reprocess those transactions, or reprocess that particular or resubmit that particular process for payroll as well as for projects. And then unprocessed time, any unprocessed time which was not there and which was entered after you had done your last run of that particular batch, then that unprocessed entries will be picked up in the next subsequent run. So when we submit it, we submit the process. We have a lot of parameters. When I show you the parameters, it will become clear what all parameters, whether it will pick up unprocessed, what do we do about errors, whether it should be reprocess the errors, etc. So all those will be a part of the parameters that we select as a part of the batch load process. And if we use any third-party time provider, then obviously you can directly use that spreadsheet for loading time card batches if you don't use your time card system of Fusion Time and Labor. So in that scenario, you will identify if that process errors, that is your time card batch process errors. You will go back to your payroll, go back to your time vendor and say that this is errored out, and they will have to rectify it, resend that, and then you will have to resubmit the load time card batch process. So I will show you in the system how it works. I'll show you the this project piece. So I go to under projects. There is something called as project cost. So here there is a process called as, there is something called as expenditure items. So here you have import and process cost transactions. You will run this particular process. So I click on this. There are standard parameters which are available for this process. What is the business unit you are running for? So as I said yesterday in our basic fundamental section, that everything over here in Fusion is driven by legal entity, which is in turn mapped to a business unit. So business unit is kind of the crux, unlike our EBS, where everything is driven by the business group. Here you have a business unit or legal entity, which you will have to specify at most of the places. So here you can say transaction status, not previously imported, all status is rejected during processing. So you can run your time card import process accordingly. Transaction source, first three will come in by default. I mean, based on your login credentials, process mode and transaction, and business unit will come in based on the accesses that you have. Now you see the transaction source. Here we will see the transaction source as Oracle Fusion Time and Labor. Document, you select time card. Batch is not valid for a time card. This is more of a financials from financials perspective. Process through expenditure item date. So here you select the date which you want to keep it, your time cards from which date you want to process. So I say of Jan, it will generate a summary report. I say submit. So on the bottom section, something called as allocations, which will get updated. So if I go there and you have process monitor, you can monitor the process which is run. So this is now running currently. So it's basically a set of processes, background processes that will be triggered, just like we have a request set in EBS. Similar to that, there will be a kind of a request set running in the background, which will in turn submit multiple requests. Our request I'll show you. So if you see, it is refreshing. So time card request has succeeded, but let all the requests that are running finish off. This is the time card request runs from Fusion Time and Labor, and this is sub process for the same. If I go to this, we'll have a look at that. So this is the place where you will see the output report of the particular process. So here we saw total successful transactions 221. This company. And after that, manage unprocessed transactions. You can select unprocessed transactions. Suppose I want to know project wise what is the unprocessed transaction. Okay. Time and labor. Nothing from this side. Let me see. This is okay. Okay, nothing is unprocessed. Basically, you can see the unprocessed transactions over here, and you can delete it if you want to delete that. Let's say I don't select a particular project. We don't have any unprocessed transactions as of now. All have been processed. But this is a place where you can see the unprocessed transactions, and import process is where you run the process. So once this process is completed, that's where it has gone and sits into the project database or the project table, saying that this is the cost. This is the one again. You can see any adjustments that you want to do. Unprocessed transactions over here as well.
Sachin, what exactly this project cost we are trying to achieve here?
So basically, whatever time you fill, it is a project cost, right?
Yes.
So that is what it will go and sit into. Okay, so that let's say Sachin has filled in 40 hours. So basically, it is a cost on the project to arrive at the profit, which it needs to understand the cost from the project. So basically, it is your resource cost is going to projects.
Okay. What typically we get in this unprocessed? Is it something like which were not approved or something like that?
Yeah, not exactly approved. I mean, something has gone. I mean, some validation which is done at the project's end. I won't be the right person to tell you regarding this in terms of since we had selected only, see, approved only can be going to this process. So that anyways is a standard feature that whatever are approved, only that will move on into the consumer of projects. Beyond that, if there is anything exceptions, that I don't have an answer right now, because it is something probably the projects, if there are any information or project details which are required at that as a part of this particular transfer, then the project's implementation expert would be the right person. But from a time and labor point of view, you are right that only transactions which are like unapproved at the time and labor end, they generally will not move on into the what we call the consumer of through this process. So that is how we can see or transfer the cost to project module, the time to project module rather.